Hey everybody, I'm Alain, I'm an indie game developer, and for my game BattleJuice Alchemist, I made the music myself, although I do not know too much about making music, but I know somebody who does. His name is Marek, and he's a composer of video game music. He also has a YouTube channel, and he was so kind to talk to me about making music for video games. It's a two-part conversation. The first one will be right here, and the second one, you can watch that on his channel. Let's get started.
Okay, and then I just sync. That's my favorite bit.
Yeah. So, hi Marek.
Hello.
Great to have you here. So cool that you took the time to have this conversation. Can you describe a little bit which of the collaborations with developers you would find very successful or very inspiring or very good? So what kind of environment do you need as an artist, as a composer, to be able to make good music for a game?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think collaboration is so crucial, and communication especially. I think constant communication between the developer or the audio lead and myself is really important to make sure that I'm on track to make the right music for the game, because that's always something I think every composer has to remember, is that the whole purpose of the music you're writing is to elevate the game rather than to sell your music, if you know what I mean.
I'm also active on the internet and connect with other developers, and many of them do everything for their game themselves, and they also make the music themselves, although they don't have any formal training. And for me, it was really the case. I never played an instrument. I have never made any music before making the music for my game. And I just sat down and made tutorials I did tutorials and tried to learn. And is there, what I want to ask you as a musician, is there some beginners errors that you could describe? So somebody who's really getting started with music and trying to make a soundtrack for his or her first platformer or something like that, and what would you say? Can you give like something very broad?
Definitely. My first thing that springs to mind is simplicity is key. So I know with your soundtrack that you've been writing for BattleJuice, it's you have these sort of arpeggiated sort of sequencing synth that just sort of continues on and morphs into different things, and I think it's perfect for the tone and the color of the game that you're writing for, and you're not overdoing it, and I think it's very effective in that way. And that would be my main piece of advice for anyone who's wanting to write music for their own IP is just have this idea that simplicity is key. You don't feel like you have to have incredible melody with incredible drums and incredible piano parts and incredible electric guitar all sort of crammed into one space, and that will make it amazing, because more times than not, if you just focus on one of those things, that will give you the the result that you're looking for, I feel. I also think it's maybe if people have experience, if they are able to play the guitar or something, maybe then they can do that. Or if they have had piano lessons when they were kids, of course they can do that. Because for me this synthwave style of music was something I also, exactly what you said is, first of all, I like that kind of music, but also it felt easy to get started and to get something done quickly, because I don't have any idea about melodies and composition or anything. And as you said, this kind of music, this makes it easier. Yeah, exactly. It's choosing something you like as well, like you say, and something you enjoy making and playing to your strengths.
This is also something that's so true also for making games. I don't believe in making games that you wouldn't like to play yourself. I think it's a great idea to make a game that you would like to play yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're doing everything yourself. You know, you have to love what you're doing, otherwise it's going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, right. I think this question is a bit like provocative because
great, I love them. Love those.
It's referring to a website where you have this package that people can download and just use in their game. And I wanted to ask you, can this type of or any type of music that comes out of the box that people can, in your case it's free, but there are also websites where you can buy songs for very cheap. And I want to ask you, do you as a musician think they can ever be great? Can this ever work for a game really well, or will it always be just okay-ish?
Yeah, so I think the obvious pitfalls of having music that's pre-made before it goes into a game, it's not custom made for the game, is it might always feel like it's kind of sort of a square peg in a round hole, and it's never quite going to fit. But I think it can definitely have its uses and its value. Like you said, the monetary value as well. For people who are working as independent developers and they just don't have the budgets as these crazy big AAAs or even just medium indie sized studios, it can definitely serve its purpose, music, in this way. I think music, a lot of the time, music is about colors and tone and emotion and mood and vibe. I've got all these different words for music in that way, and I think as long as you have a piece of music that fits in that sense, it fits the vibe or it fits the tone, and it works for your game, then by all means go for it and use it. And I think for people who want custom music for their game, I think they will go and look for custom music for their game. It's not like they will it's not like they will want custom music and then just use something that doesn't fit. I think people will know in their minds what really connects with their game more than anyone else. But of course, you can't beat the value that bespoke custom music can bring to a project.
I just watched a video of yours where you did some sound effects also.
Yes.
Is this something you are going to get into, or are you already into that? What's the story there?
Yeah, so it's something I'm wanting to learn more about, definitely. I come from the music side of things, but sound effects does really interest me as well, and the creativity in creating sounds is really awesome. It's really, really fun. So doing this, so I recently did this game jam where I had to make various sound effects for this platformer game, and I was just looking around this room and around the house, just thinking, what can I use and what can I sort of hit together to make a cool sound? And it was really fun. Definitely something I'm looking to get more into, and because arguably, and you wouldn't think I'd say this being a composer, but the audio, the sound effects are arguably more important than the music, because they add that extra level of immersion to a game. And I was reading something, I'm studying a master's at the moment in video game composition, and I was reading about how sound effects are there to reaffirm your place in the game world. So if you click on, I don't know, a chest and it opens with a creak, then that creak sort of reaffirms that you are in this world opening this chest. If you opened the chest and nothing happened, then you're not having that extra sensory confirmation that you're doing what you're doing. So yeah, really, really interesting. I could go on about this stuff for hours, but I won't.
So Marek, thank you so much for taking the time, for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. I think it's super interesting for developers to get the perspective of musicians. Maybe they haven't talked to any before. And for me, it was super enlightening. It was super fun to talk to you. And Thank you so much. And I hope we'll do this again maybe sometime.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a really great conversation. I've really enjoyed getting to kind of talk about music and game development in this way, because I think there's within the kind of communities of game dev and music for games, there's a lot of talk amongst each other. So it's good to have this kind of cross conversation and really get to pick each other's brains with these different perspectives. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks again, Marek, for taking the time and talking to me. I had a lot of fun. And if you guys watching also enjoyed the conversation, let me know in the comments if you want to see more talks like that. And if you liked it, you can watch the other half of the conversation on Marek's channel, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching and take care. Bye.